programmes tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Barry, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you. It's a toaster.
Dalek, you have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Is this world protected? Because you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them? Hello. I'm the Doctor.
Yes, indeed. There you go. This is a pre-record, and I still screwed it up. Unbelievable. Which is quite believable, because I've done this. I've screwed up more than once. I've had a lot of screw-ups in the last couple of days. I mean, we'll be talking to you about them. This is a pre-record because right now, I am probably about half an hour, I should say. I am probably having dinner with my future, what are they called again? They're not my in-laws. They'll be my son's in-laws. My son just got engaged, right? And it's like a bit of a whirlwind right now. Lots of stuff going down because, when you're religious Jews, you don't get like a 2-year engagement, right? Because, basically you're not stupid. That's the bottom line. You're not stupid. And so, engagements tend to go a little bit quicker. So they're looking at the end of October. So today, oh my God, it's a nightmare, right? It's a freaking, every part of this is a nightmare. I hope the actual ceremony is quite good. It's a freaking nightmare. So today, my wife is leaving work, I guess, in about an hour or so, about noonish, and schlepping all the way home. That's an hour and a half drive, right? And then this time of day, maybe about an hour this time of day. I don't know, but schlepping all the way home. Then cooking a bunch of food for this dinner we're having tonight with the my son's fiance's parents, right? So she's doing all that. Then she's going out at about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, to go and look at these different halls to book them, because they want to do the wedding at the end of October. So that's kind of the gestation period for engagements, right? That's like a normal gestation period, but they want to book the hall super quickly. However, my wife says no one's booking anything without me being there, because my wife can negotiate. She is good at negotiating. So how it normally works is we have bigger weddings, right? So, when they're religious, and financially, it's basically like the groom side, they pay for all the people they're inviting, and the bride side pay for all the people they're inviting. It's like, I don't know, it's about $100 a plate. So what's dollars in sterling nowadays? Dollar, we'll do dollar sterling conversion. So it's so let's say it's about $100, about £75 a plate. And that sounds like a lot of money to pay for somebody to have dinner, right? Why am I taking somebody out, buying a slap up £75 dinner? Plus, there's music, like there's live music on it. But my wife is says no one's booking anything without me negotiating, and she will hammer them down. So she's going to look at this, and they're not like they're next to each other. These places, they're like, you slept over there for an hour, you slept over there. So she's going to look at 3 halls, right? That's the first thing. Am I supposed to go with? I don't know, right? Am I in the way? Am I helpful? I don't know, right? There's so much I don't know in this whole equation. Then coming home, and then we're having the dinner, and then we got to discuss money with the the bride's parents, my son's fiance's parents, right? And I think there's I think they basically want to work out the budget for how much the wedding will be, but we're doing it all backwards. I don't know. So that's why I'm not live. And it's making it a bit crazy that I'm not live. I really would much rather be a bit live. I'm recording this through StreamYards rather than, I normally record it through my computer, because we're going to be looking at some video stuff. The drawback is I can only make these videos an hour long unless I upgrade my StreamYard membership to like $50 a month. I'm not doing that. Screw you, mate. Oh my god! So I left Mission Impossible last night. We're going to be doing a review of Mission Impossible in this very video. I left Mission Impossible last night, and on the way out the cinema, it's in a mall, right? On the way out the cinema, the security guy, the thing doesn't go up, right, as the car drives out, and the security says, "Oh, you owe more money on your parking." I'm like, what? So was that how much? An extra $10. What? I have to pay you to go out and see a movie. I was aching for a pee about an hour and a half into it. Normally they have a break. I couldn't wait. I was like, I got to go. Fortunately, it wasn't very plot heavy, so I really didn't miss much. Review coming later. Something that may or may not be in this feature presentation tonight will be a trailer reaction to Doctor Who Season 20 being released on Blu-ray. That's supposed to happen today. I'm recording this today on Thursday morning, Thursday the 13th. I'm recording this on Thursday morning. So apparently that's supposed to drop today. I don't know if that's going to happen. If that doesn't happen, I made two versions of the thumbnail, right? So I got a few other stories to go over, instead. But I'm going to basically have to leave a 20-minute window to talk about the Season 20. That kind of works out. Season 20 Blue, which I hope Season 20 is coming out. Peter Davison really needs another season out. He's the only one apart from of the color doctors. Not the color doctors. There's only one of those. We're going to be speaking about a lot of that. Oh my god! Oh, it's like Rusty Davies is walking around in a field of rakes. Go boom, 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 boom. Did I mention I was gay? Boom. What about trans? Boom. But relentless. Like, man, Russell, mate. Like, I have every respect for you, but I have never seen somebody fuck up the amount that you have fucked up in the last few months. Oh, maybe not everything is about getting your dick sucked, right? Maybe not everything in the world revolves around you getting your dick sucked, right? Which right now basically seems to be a lot of what the Doctor Who is about. Weirdly enough, so we're going to be so we'll be watching the Season 20 promo. If there is one, it's going to be another film by Pete McTeague. Now, I'll remind you on this season, what was it, 9? That was the last one that came out, Blu-ray. The first line was about sexual diversity, right? The first line was a couple of lesbians are going on a date in a cave, and they meet Joe Grant and a baby sea devil. Why is everything revolving around sexuality? Like, I'm a very horny person. Like, I'm very horny all the time, right? I think about sex like 3 or 4 times every 20 seconds. Listen, and that's on a day when I'm quite. Honestly, I like. What is this constant need to talk about your sexuality? I don't understand it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, actually, I do. It's all desperately looking for validation. But we're going to start off with a story from earlier this week, because I think I've seen something that's really given me a lot of insight onto it. So let's go look over here. We go. Doink. Share screen. Where is it? Oh, there. Doink. Here it comes. Fine. So this is something we were talking about earlier this week. David Tennant has exceeded himself in douchebaggery, in intense douchebaggery, right? Bit of a mistake. Oh, I was going to tell you about all the mistakes I made this week. Okay. So my last live stream on Tuesday, right, was you got to, like, each live stream you set up individually on Rumble. So I set it up on Rumble when you connect it to StreamYard, right? And I had a bunch of stuff. I had about 3 things that are going to play in StreamYard, because from StreamYard I transmit to Facebook and Twitter and occasionally Rumble, right? This one's being transmitted to Rumble because that way I can do it as a live show, even though it's not live, right? So, or I do it live when it's a live show, right? So that's how it works. So I stupidly, right, connected one of the videos before the live stream to Rumble, right? That was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that, which meant I had to set up the live stream again after it, which was only about it was as it started. So it was like 7 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock in the UK, right? It was just as it started. Normally, if you leave it up for a few hours, you get a much bigger viewership. And yeah, exactly. I got half the viewership on that one because I was an idiot. The next day, right, I posted a video on Rumble, an Indiana Jones follow-up, like 10, 15 minutes long video. And the next day I looked at it, I saw it's 2.5 hours long. How can it be? I downloaded the bootleg of Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny so I can get screen grabs for my review of it, right? So then I realized I really shouldn't show any because I might get copyright struck. But apparently not, right? Because I uploaded the whole thing to Rumble. The entire movie, the entire bootleg, Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, it was up there for 16 hours. No one noticed. It got 2 views, but no one noticed, thank God, right? That really should have self-destructed my account. And then yesterday, right, Wednesday, I couldn't do a live stream because I was going to see Mission Impossible, right? We will be talking about that. So I set that up. Let's see, what I do is I run it on YouTube as a premiere, which is basically the same thing. It allows people to chat and have fun. I can't interact with you. That's the one thing I don't like about doing these pre-records. And on Rumble, it's a live stream, right? But I set it up for the next day. And so I got home at like 10 o'clock and it hadn't transmitted on Rumble yet. So I quickly reset it to do then. And again, it got like half the views that it normally would have because I've screwed up. So hopefully this one is going at 5 o'clock UK time on Rumble. One can only hope or dream, right? But my screw-ups are somewhat smaller than David Tennant. So, yeah, he's promoting Good Omens. And actually, I wasn't that into seeing Good Omens, really. I didn't think the first season was that good. It struck me much like the spiritual successor to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, more than anything else. And I found the hour-long running time didn't really fit the more light-hearted subject matter. Anyway, so I wasn't really that into it. I guess I'll watch it to review it. But this made me much less into it. David Tennant wearing this super obnoxious t-shirt. Leave trans kids alone, you absolute freaks! Right? So what is his problem? I mean, again, you're going to say gender-affirming care sterilizes children and makes it so they can't achieve sexual satisfaction, right? What's the expression? It's sexualizing children. Was it grooming, sexualizing, and medicating children into this? This is not good news. I really don't think this is good news. I don't think it's good news because I think the normative state for the vast majority of people is to be heterosexual and gender unfluid, right? That's why 99.9%, maybe 97% of the world is, right? Far more normal. But my fear is that when something becomes trendy, becomes socially trendy, which is so much effort has been gone into making this weird fringe sexuality, which we're going to be talking about soon, fashionable. I think it will influence children to take on sexualities that they don't really that aren't authentic to them. And by that I mean, you have a young girl who is going through puberty and is not beautiful, right? And is not happy with their body, as every young girl is, right? And then online, they'll be encouraged to like cut their hair and like maybe they're trans, cut their hair and see how it feels. And they will do that and they'll post pictures and they'll all go, yay, bestest ever. Oh, you look fantastic. Yay. And that's essentially how they get sucked into having their tits cut off or their balls cut off, right? And I'm sorry, that's the reality of it. But, either way, I think either way, I think like surgical medical interventions on children, people who are unable to consent to sex should be unable to consent to have their sexual organs mutilated by science, right? It's just the way it is. So this really confused me, right? And I'm going on about this. You can see I'm the third time I'm talking about this week. This really genuinely confused. Like why? Why is this the hill that he must? I mean, like the social currency has changed. There's no what's the word? There's the tolerance of this is way down, right? The tolerance is we were all being polite, and then it got too much, and it got too pervy, and it got too public, and it got too centered around children, and people said no, enough, right? And all the Muslims they screamed to let in the country 10 years ago are saying no. So swings and roundabouts. So what's going on? Why is this the hill that David Tennant can't climb down from? So I saw this video and I thought, this totally explains this. Let's have a look. It is doink over here.
What I thought of is that there's a lot of people who can't move on this, because that's the people who've transitioned their own children. So those people are going to be like, the Japanese soldiers who were on Pacific Islands and didn't know the war was over.
So this sounds like David Tennant to me. This sounds exactly like David Tennant. Now explain why.
Right.
They've got to fight forever. This is another reason why this is the worst social contagion that we'll ever have experienced. A lot of people have done the worst thing that you could do, which is to harm their children irrevocably.
So, I don't know if David Tennant's done that. I don't know if he has actively I hear he's got a trans kid, but has he irrevocably harmed them? Could be, right? Could be. And then, let's speak.
Because of it. Those people will have to believe that they did the right thing for the rest of their lives, for their own sanity and for their own self-respect. So they'll still be fighting. And each one of those people destroys entire organizations and entire friendship groups. I've lost count of the number of times that somebody has said to me of a specific organization that has got turned upside down on this.
And so many gay organizations have been turned upside down on this.
The deputy director has a trans child, or, the journalist on that paper who does special investigations has a trans child.
So, I don't know. She goes on for a bit longer. Look her up on YouTube, on TikTok. But that's basically the point. So I don't know if David Tennant has a trans child or if it's his whole worldview that has failed him and crumbling, right? With kids, good here. Let's look at this. Now, I don't know if this is from a recent convention.
In the reality of society right now.
Well, I think we're all. It was a play about anti-Semitism.
Oh no, this must be recent because he talks about Karney in a second.
As we were performing it, there was all the stuff that came out with Kanye and how people reacted to that, and how, when people make a stand and what we
So that was all what, January, February, around there?
Excuse and what we don't excuse, and all that stuff is a constant challenge. We have to always be kind of going, hang on, no, we all have to be accountable for our actions. We all have to be able to stand up at the end of the day and go, I did that and it was the right decision, and I'm...
Yeah, how about standing up and saying I did that and that was a wrong decision? I think it will do people like David Tennant so much good to be able to say, I supported Jeremy Corbyn and I was wrong. He's a bigot. He's an anti-Semite. He destroyed the Labour Party and to a great extent destroyed British politics because there is no functional opposition to the Tories right now, who are utterly awful, right? And I normally skew more right-wing. They're utterly awful.
And that's difficult. And it's difficult because it's very easy to look back on what happened in Germany in the 30s and go, well, obviously I wouldn't do that.
Well, you are, actually, David. I have to tell you, I mean, this gender fluidity thing is like Germany in the 1930s, right? All the intelligentsia, all the arts were on the side of the Nazis. Don't forget that. All the academics, everybody hated Churchill because he was not down for Hitler. They absolutely hated Churchill because he was on the right side of history, and everybody else, like you, David, are on the wrong side.
Well, what was great about that play, I think, is it sort of cast any one of us in that moment in time when
You're in that moment in time now, David.
When the status quo is slipping, when things that we always assumed were sacrosanct weren't any longer. And I think, I think there are moments that we're all...
Well, I think what he's talking about is the panic about the America abolishing abortion, which just isn't happening, right? It just didn't happen. They just said, maybe we shouldn't shoot a baby in the face as it comes out of a woman's vagina. Maybe that's not an abortion. Maybe we shouldn't do. I mean, like, again, these late-term abortions are absolutely disgusting, right? And there was a lot of nonsense spread about, and it was because the left wing, for want of a better word, because these are not left wing people, these are totalitarians, were losing power, right? And that's really what's bad. But hook, line, and sinker. But I think this is a whole worldview is falling apart.
Right now, where we see the status quo slipping, we see protections that were accepted as standard and immutable.
Well, here's the thing: these standard immutable protections are. I don't believe they are standard immutable protections. I think these are. This is something coming in the guise of kindness to hurt children. Honestly, to hurt children for several reasons. One, to make money for pharmaceutical companies. Two, to validate people with weird fringe sexuality. And if you have weird fringe sexuality, you will want your weird fringe sexuality validated as being normal. It's not by the definition of the word normal. I am not advocating you being thrown in the camp because you're not normal. I'm not normal. I'm Jewish. I know about not being normal, being Jewish, being about thrown into camps. David Tennant's just talking about it, right? This is what you're struggling with. They think you don't understand that the liberalism that you hold so dear has been corrupted and inverted against liberalism.
Are being challenged, and that, as a father, scares me, that we could be living in a world where rights that we thought were human rights and were...
What are the rights that trans people do not have? Do they again, do I have the right for you to insist that you believe that having a penis makes you male? No. Do I have the right to impose my values on you? Say, do I to make you believe that God appeared at Mount Sinai to the Israelites, not the Jewish people at the time? Do I have the and gave the Bible? Do I have the right to say you have to believe that? No, I don't. You not believing that, does that deny my existence? No. What are these rights?
Incontrovertible are now being challenged. Things that you know what I'm talking about.
So he goes on. He said and basically doesn't want the government intervening. Really? Do you want the government intervening on something like slavery? Betting per chance, David. Yeah. Here's the point. People are just over this now. The normies are over this, right? We are done. We are done in a quite a major way, which is why something like this is just stupid, right? Just so stupid. This Barbie promotion, Pink Tardis. Don't tell me this isn't about being gay, because everything is about being gay. Why do you need to be validated by being gay? And I don't know. It just I don't understand how they thought this would go down well. Although I don't understand how they got Barbie going to that. So apparently, John the White had his first tweet hidden by by BBC Doctor Who. They said, yes, Barbie is out in the movie. I think next week, isn't it? Will it be a hit? I really don't know. Will it be a hit? Is out in the movies. Very at BBC Doctor Who to try and ponce another product's popularity wave. If the dullers at BBC Studios hadn't had got their acting gear, we could be going to a Doctor Who movie instead. Still, here's a Pink Tardis conversation. Can't disagree with you, right? Can't disagree with you. Now, again, this appeals to a segment of the audience, a very small segment, right? About what, 4%, 5%, right? Again, and I'm glad you're all so happy, right? It's lovely for you. But if we weren't living in the midst of this this weird cultural totalitarianism, where if you don't want children's testicles removed, you're a bigot, right? And again, I'm happy you guys all enjoy this, right? Good for you. I would probably take a photo taken with it if I was there, right? But again, most of the world's straight. Most of the world's straight, and it's probably a good idea to tune into that reality. 5. Let's see some reporting on it. Doctor Who Barbie mashup. Tardis goes pink, but don't raise a stink. Okay, I'm not raising a stink. I'm just saying this turns me off from your show, right? This turns like everything you're doing right now turns me off from your show. It turns me off, makes me not interested, right? It's so. Let's see this. Kicking off the November showrun of Russell Evans, 14th Doctor, David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and the upcoming 3. Blah, he's say that every article. Was it 6th anniversary of new era of Doctor Who is definitely underway. Yeah, it's something I have to wait and see it, but I'm not that interested, right? I am not that interested right now. I would certainly see, even if it didn't have the channel, I would still see it. Once we're done celebrating the past, we get to springboard into the future with the 15th Doctor, Shooty Gatwa and Millie Gibson, Ruby Sunday set for Christmas special. Yes, we know. Oh, yesterday we took a look at what Gatwa had to share in Rolling Stone. Yeah, that was the best he's been thus far, the most articulate he's been thus far in talking about Doctor Who. Right, absolutely. That is the absolute best he's been, and he was actually very good. Right, he made me feel like he was interested. He became interested in the program while researching, like Matt Smith. But no, we don't. That's not the promotion we get. Right, this is the bloody promote. This is all we get. Right, like why not talk about him being interested in the character? Yes, we had blah blah blah. But for this go around, we're pausing the serious stuff. Okay, there hasn't been any. To look at the Tardis, how the Tardis will adjust herself to a Barbie's world. Yes, we're going to get a mashup between BBC and Disney Plus series and the upcoming Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling starring film. The BBC showing off quite a pinkish look. So the BBC paid for this, not the not Barbie. Weird. Cool. Some folks don't quite get the point of having a little fun at pop culture synergy. It would be fun if it wasn't screaming, "Look at us, being gay is good," and no one's stopping you be gay. I just am tired of you screaming it in my ear relentlessly, right? Relentlessly, which is what this is more of. So let me just tell you, right-wingers, let me just tell the right-wingers out there, they can keep a leash on their expected woke attacks. Everybody's a right-winger. Everybody who doesn't fit into the cult of the left is a right-winger. That is, like, seriously left-wing socialist people, if they don't go along with this totalitarianism, this lockstep, with this lack of being able to think for yourself, right? You're a right winger. Now, and honestly, I skew right. I do skew right. But like, I want the maximum amount of people to experience the maximum amount of goodness, of pleasure, of happiness, right? And the tried and true blue fans who are ride or die when it comes to always having a blue police box in their lives. Well, they had a pink one in Happiness Patrol. And again, that didn't feel like it was slapping me in the face. It was slapping me in the face a bit, but at least it was more fun. Relax, take a breath. It's just temporary, baby. Yeah, these puberty blockers, they're just temporary. Oh, they last forever? Fuck you, right? Yeah, they're just temporary. I know, but what's apparently not temporary is this relentless need to scream about your uncommon sexuality. Oh, it does look pretty cool in pink, and we're vibing that. Would watch at least one episode of Gatwa and Robbie's Barbie team up. There's a little. Here's a little image. What's it? Here's a look at the image they posted on the show's main Instagram and Twitter, and we can't but be curious to see if Rusty Davis has a response of some type. Again, I am just done. I'm just done. So, okay, so then they're going to the premiere of Barbie, which Shooty Gatwa is in, and more things just to make me go, oh, why? Really, why? Barbie's London premiere, all good and fab, and the WTF looks from the carpet. So Margot Robbie looking like a human being, like a rather shaggable human being. Okay, equally shaggable human being. Don't know who she is. I hope it's a she. Pretty sure that's a she. Not interested. But again, human being looking, weird dress, but I can live with it. Actually, quite a nice dress. Again, human being looking. Then we got Ryan Gosling. Yes, look, he looks totally like people, right? They look like people. And then we get to Shooty fucking Gatwa. Like, what the fuck, Shooty? What the fuck? Enough! Oh my God, enough. Just enough. This is like, dress like a fucking normal person. God, okay, good for you. You managed not to get your shirt off. But now, like, I'm just exhausted by it, right? I am just genuinely absolutely exhausted by all of this. Enough already. Enough. So, I went to see something that I thought would be somewhat normal yesterday. Mission Impossible. Now, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. There is no post-credit scene. That's the first thing I did. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. Dead Reckoning. There you go. And let's get an image there. Fine. Well, let's get a larger image. Hang on. Tools, size, make it big. Oh, I like it large. You like it long. You like it strong. Here we go. Copy image address. Now, I should be able to do the review without on screen, but no. Actually, it's kind of helpful because it makes me remember what was in the movie. So, was this a fun cinematic experience? Yes, it was. Was it the best Mission Impossible? Not by a long way, right? Not by a long way. And I think it was really genuinely scuppered by breaking this into two parts, right? Because essentially you get the first act of a movie. Now, the good thing about Mission Impossible, I think the best one was Fallout, the last one, was that you get all this insane great action and a very good tight spy plot, right? So you didn't get that with this one. You got the beginnings of one, you got the setup of one, and you got introduced to interesting premises and characters. But mainly you got long, exquisitely made action set piece after long, exquisitely made action set piece after long, exquisitely made action set piece. It was 2.5 hours long. Look, my guess is the story for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2 is probably about a 3-hour event, right? 3.5 hours. So they're spreading it out to 5 hours. So yeah, I think this movie was really hurt in its conception of breaking into. Is it worth watching? It's probably the best thing in the cinema this summer. Probably the best thing been in cinema this year. I mean, in terms of like fun blockbusters, my recommendation when it comes to England and wherever in Israel, wherever else in the world is Sound of Freedom, right? But which is doing very, very well, thank God. I'm really happy about that. And it's not so it doesn't have the same kinetic energy, storytelling energy that the earlier ones have had, and it really lacks it, right? It really lacks it, and it ends in the middle. It feels like the first half of a movie. It's great to see all the Mission Impossible people back. Tom Cruise is certainly older, and I kind of like him being older, right? He's certainly older, and he's a little less physical in this, right? Just a little less physical. But again, the amount of work and effort that went into this, I thought was excellent. There was a little bit too many, what's the word? Crisscross, like double crosses, right? There was a little bit too many double crosses. The new character introduced were good. The villain was good. You're getting a little bit more of Ethan Hunt's backstory, which you didn't really need. Funnily enough, I watched Mission Impossible 1 earlier this week, which is essentially Ethan Hunt Begins, right? And it had the same director of the CIA, or whoever it was, from the first one, Kitteridge, all the way through this one. You get a bit of mask action, which is a lot of fun. Rebecca Ferguson turns up, but again, because there's so much time for him to play with, it feels it's lacking tightness, right? It's lacking, tightness. That's really the best word for it. But again, in terms of the amount of work and effort that Tom Cruise and crew went into to make this into an absolutely awesome cinematic experience is palpable, right? You can really genuinely tell, right? And the care and effort that went into everything, and you really, they went over, above and beyond. The new character played by, what's his name? What's the bloody name that everybody finds reasonably hot? What's this guy? See it down here. Hang on. Oh, it's really annoying me now. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Haley Atwell, right? New character by Haley Atwell. Reasonably good. I preferred Rebecca Ferguson's character. I found her more interesting. Flabby, that's the word I'd use. And the woman with the white face with the teardrop, she's a good henchman for the villain. The villain is very clever. I'm not going to. Okay, this is a very mild spoiler, right? The very mild spoiler is the movie really addresses what happens if one of these AIs that the security services are working goes rogue. What do you do with that? And essentially, there is the whole, and again, you get this in the first couple of minutes. I'm really not spoiling it for you, right? The answer is you're going to get every government in the world, every security agency in the world chasing after this AI to control it so they can control the world. Whereas Ethan Hunt's like, no, we got to get after this and destroy it because it will destroy the world. And I tend to agree with Ethan Hunt on this. So I think when all's said and done, and this movie and you get the second part of this movie out, I will probably rewatch the first part for their great set pieces. But man, it's because it's half a movie. I think this is probably one of the weakest ones in the series. Having said that, by far the best thing in the cinema right now. Like absolutely by far the best thing going down in the cinema. So is it a recommend? It's worth seeing on the big screen because those set pieces are freaking incredible, right? And it's beautiful, like the car chases through Rome. Although again, you know what's something else I noticed? It's retreading old ground, right? It's retreading ground it's been to before. You had a very good train fight sequence, which clearly Indiana Jones ripped off, I think. So that was very good, but it felt very much like the train sequence from the first one. And there's a very good car chase through Rome, and at one point they're in this tiny little yellow car. It feels like For Your Eyes Only? It was For Your Eyes Only, right? I think so. The James Bond movie, right? So it feels like it's retreading itself right now as well. So I was disappointed, right? In fact, I left the cinema with my wife, and she was like, she was a normie, and she was like, not that much plot in it, and there wasn't, right? That's the problem with it, not that much plot in it. And then on the way out, we got charged an extra $10 for charging to park my car. Oh, my wife's car, she'll say. Actually, no, I think I own it. Park my car in the cinema so I can patronize the cinema. I'm like, enough. I'm not going to cinema again. Enough. I am done, baby. Done. Like, I'll go and see Dune in the cinema on my own, but I don't imagine going to see the cinema with my wife again on a date, right? Which is, I think, a bit of a failure. I think it's the absolute opposite that Tom Cruise wanted. But again, very well done, excellent spy set pieces. That's how I would explain it. And amazing, absolutely amazing. Season 20 did just get announced. I saw it announced about 10 minutes ago. This is at 5:37 my time, which is 3:37 for you over in the UK. So I guess it got announced at 3 o'clock. So, all right, let's have a look at the trailer. It's a long one, right? It's a long one. Is it another Pete Mateague movie? A special movie by Pete Mateague. A special movie for special people. Granny's got a nice house. bonkers feminist Tegan Javanka. Do you remember when Janet Fielding was like, "Oh, you 2 or 3 people complaining about Jodie. You can just shut up. We all want to move forward." Really, Janet? Really, how spectacularly badly did that do? All right, did that focus? Did that register on you? But let's see what she's got to say for herself. Sounds like a doctor. Well, we're a minute in and we haven't had any lesbians or trans people yet, which is quite impressive. Don't they know this is a trailer for Doctor Who? I want weird divergent sexuality. It's what everybody does. Wearing a Power of the Doctor outfit? Janet Fielding's acting has stayed roughly the same. Ruth, Rabbi. If I wasn't a Doctor Who fan, I was switched off by now. For goodness sake, this is going on forever, and nothing's happening. Oh, well, they got a trans flag in the background. They're good for them. Oh, is that Sarah Sutton?
That's impossible.
Hello, Tegan.
Why is it impossible? She didn't die. She's just living with the lepers. There's a change. But she had a whole future that she got married and had lots of kids. So this is a different universe to the Big Finish story. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it must be in a different universe than Big Finish stories.
Nissa? It's been a long time. Too long.
I have to say, she looks better now than she did in the 80s.
Oh, my God. Are you okay?
A little older.
Don't start me. How did you contact me?
Don't start me off, darling. You know how I like it.
What are you even doing here?
Looking for you, of course.
But we left you on Terminus.
I hitched a ride. I've got so much to tell you. The doctor wants to see you, too.
Which one? Scarf or celery? Or woman?
Which do you think?
Probably woman, I would have thought, right? I hope Russell T Davies, other than all the gay stuff he's doing for the new season, I hope Russell T Davies retcons the whole thing away. That makes this Pete Mateague movie completely irrelevant.
Learned to fly that thing yet. I got my pilot's license back in '93. I could teach him a thing or two.
That's a plane. This is a TARDIS. Oh, my God.
I've missed this.
Those were the days. I kind of wish I'd realized how lucky I was.
Well, now we've got a second chance. If you're interested.
Why don't they just go to Tegan's house? Wouldn't that be easier?
You bet I am.
Okay, I think I prefer the season 9's lesbians in a cave with the Sea Devil baby. They can't afford a TARDIS set. I'm saying they can't afford a TARDIS. They do. I might have egg on my face in a minute, but they can't afford a TARDIS. Or maybe they can.
Nissa?
Or is she in the dark place of the inside? Ah, finally! It's got something interesting. She's in the dark place of the inside. Okay, they should have cut out the first, basically everything until this point. Like she's been on the amber nectar.
Another trick.
I wait in the darkest corners of your mind.
Yeah, I had to tell you. No. Nicola Bryant does. Billy Gibson, darkest, and I would say stickiest. I don't know. Maybe in the black leather miniskirt and the boob tube and the 83 look.
Greatest secret, even from the Doctor. Your one true companion.
That was cruel.
A tempting scenario in a universe of possibilities.
Get out of my head.
Waking or dreaming, you cannot escape me. Submit, and I will grant you the reunion you crave.
How?
Now, I know. I could kind of see Tegan being into a bit of SMM. She said submit. I don't know. She's very bolshy, so I'm going to say she's probably a sub rather than a dom, right? It's always the opposite of what you expect.
Join me. Take my hand and manifest your deepest desires.
Yeah, look, may I just say to all the young ladies out there, never say that to me, okay? Never say that. So basically, the Mara's offering to finger bang an old Tegan.
Tegan, in another universe, we are together. Tegan, find me, Tegan. Tegan, please find me. Tegan.
Never.
Then I will consume you.
Oh yeah, that's a bit better than Kinder, I have to admit. Finally, let's find out what's on it. Okay, I do like that season 20. That's the one with Snake Dance, not Kinder. Right.
Doctor Who, The Collection, Season 20.
We're here. 1983. A perfect choice.
7 classic stories, newly remastered.
And they're great stories on this one.
And packed with special features.
Doctor!
We're being taken back to Gallifrey.
I'm simply following orders.
Documentaries.
Listen, we've only just started. There's trouble.
The original plan was Sarah and I drive to Germany, and then suddenly you notify us that you're coming as well.
That looks fun.
Why have we put ourselves through this? Help!
I wonder how much they get paid for this.
This whole journey has descended into madness.
A, stop being such a drama queen, and B, help me.
I'm not being a drama queen. She's been the drama queen.
Drama.
Really?
Okay, this seems so much better than the frickin' trailer. I'm so much more into this.
Okay. Well, anyway.
This one starts off and she's driving like a snail. It's meant to be, we're meant to be driving down a road.
He said go slowly.
Yeah, he said not that slowly. Oh, God's sake, I'm fed up with this. Oh, my
I seem to remember we actually got on quite well together.
Yeah, we did. Action!
We haven't had any direction yet.
Are you sure we're going the right way?
And it's as if time has stood still.
And now I have to get down.
Now, for your enjoyment, we have a recreation of the death out underground. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. The added bonus of this box set, when it eventually comes out, is you'll be able to see us visibly age. We start off quite sprightly on our trip to Germany, and we've arrived here in Amsterdam.
They spent real money on this. Wow.
Broken people.
I'm not coming with you.
What?
But doing the last
I mean, honestly, that's the first time this looks shaggable when she's leaving.
scene, I really was crying. A year and a half on this programme, and it's a nanosecond like that.
Whoa, who's in conversation? I listen. Matthew Sweet is such a douchebag on Twitter, such a relentless douchebag on Twitter. Always screaming about GB News, always screaming about anti-vaxxers. I mean, mate, get life. Look, here's what I want to tell you. Academia and all the authoritarian sources were wrong, right? They were wrong. The COVID response was a screw-up. We all know that now. And basically to enrich Pfizer.
Television was like on a 10-year lag behind in terms of its ethos, and feminism sort of hit the real buffers in the 80s.
Do you think by the time season 20 is starting, Nissa is allowed to go to the pub?
I think she's full on alcohol by then.
What if your guest was not the king?
This was the realisation of John's idea of having a robotic companion to replace Janet Fielding, presumably.
Yeah, look, they actually did a bunch of those on Big Finish with John Coltrane doing Chameleon, which was actually pretty good.
Probably because what could be better than a robot to replace Janet?
Oh. Right, all the things that people telling me this trailer's out. I mean, this is how quick I'm doing this.
Oh, my dear doctor, you have been naive.
Martin Clunes.
Look at you.
A lot of fan mail got opened by The Office because you used to get some funny ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry about sending those.
Is it a fake? Oh, no, my lord, it's an original.
Do you remember that?
Freaking love this story. Snake Dance is I mean, it gets overshadowed by Kinder. Snake Dance is freaking awesome.
And do you remember throwing it at John Carson? I'd rather you didn't.
Okay, well.
Because it's worth quite a bit of money.
Is it?
Behind the sofa.
Yay!
Right behind
Who's he? It'll come to me.
He's who?
Who is he? He is who?
I'm the doctor.
Oh!
Look at that.
These are good couplings. Colin Baker, Wes McCoy, Fifth Doctor Crowd, and Sophie Aldred. Who was with Sophie Aldred? Was it Katie Manning?
Look at that. I love Time Lords.
That would be nice to have at the end of the garden, darling, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I think this is wonderful.
Quite right, you tell them.
Danger! Doctor!
Oh, the Five
Danger!
Doctors!
The Five Doctors' 40th anniversary.
Oh!
Goodness me, so
love
there are
it.
5 of me.
Wait a minute. Did you just see that? The new time scoop? I mean, can't they just do a flat a triangle one that like whizzes around? Well, okay, fine, something new. I like this one.
Anniversary edition.
Goodness me, so there are 5 of me now.
I think our past is catching up on us.
The dick soon.
We're on Gallifrey.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Could be playing the game of Rassilon at this very moment.
I assume we're not expected to win.
Exterminate!
Updated special effects.
We're not on a yacht, we're on a spaceship.
Now, I actually like the movie, but they updated it again.
Why has the Mara returned? Why now after so long? The Mara was destroyed.
And meanwhile, the Mara could destroy Tegan.
Biggest box set yet.
I couldn't do better myself.
Keep it going!
This friend of yours,
Brigadier Alastair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart.
is it by any chance the Doctor?
Wow, this looks like a really good box set.
I don't think I can take much more of this.
Big, isn't it?
Said nobody to me ever.
That boy!
I heard the power that speaks
They said that.
to you. I heard it and I know the voice.
Doctor Who The Collection Season 20 is available to pre-order now.
I'm doing that right now, mate. Oh, come on. They're just looking around a bloody room. There's nothing happening. Literally nothing is happening. Other than Janet had a wet dream. I don't know. She went to bed.
You know what I've been through. You've seen it all. You've felt it.
Yeah, you work for John Nathan Turner.
And compared to that, you are nothing. You will never get the better of me. So back in your box.
Wouldn't that be funny if that's Amara talking? He broke the bloody mirror. There you go. That's it. We're done. Oh, that went on a bit too long. Right, that went on a bit too long. Fine, let's have a quick look at the extras. What's in there? That's doink. I mean, like, fantastic packaging as always. I do like the packaging. I do like the art, the disc design. 5 Doctors 40th Anniversary Edition, brand new version, 90-minute special, updated with new special effects, and blah, blah, blah. New commentary by Peter Davis and Janet Fielding and Mark Strickson. Updated 2023 special effects excludes for Snake Dance and Enlightenment. Interesting, because they already have been updated. Behind the Sofa, yeah, Blu-ray trailer. We don't really, I just watched it. We don't really need it. In Conversation, Matthew Sweet, the Janet Fielding and Sarah Sutton. Let's Go Dutch, that looks good. To Look Who's Driving looks good. When Janet Met Martin, that all looks good. King Demon's Making of. Long Leak Celebration footage. Oh, yeah, got all that stuff. What else we got? Rare convention footage. 5-1 sound of Snake Dance, 5 Doctors. And also something else, 5 Doctors. PDF archive. Yeah, look, 7 really good stories, right? Do they list the stories? Hang on, where are they? Yeah, they really should just list the bloody stories, shouldn't? Oh, Doom, go away. So we Arc of Infinity, yeah. Arc of Infinity, Snake Dance, Mordred Undead, Terminus, Enlightenment, King's Demon 5. This is a must. How much is it? Let's have a look. Let's see. Last question. $71. That's about £50. Okay, I guess that. And I don't know who this lady is walking around. But I don't know. She wants me to buy that. Fine. Okay. I think I'm out of time. I've got to wrap it up. Thank you indeed, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back tomorrow. I guess we'll go over season 20 in more detail then. Like, share, subscribe, especially on YouTube, especially on Rumble, especially on Twitter, actually. Rumble because I like it the best. YouTube because they're screwing me over. I've lost about 30 subscribers on the last week. Oh, I hate it. Yeah, so if you're subscribed, please make sure to still subscribe and follow me on Twitter. It's where you get all my video content as well. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.